When God created this old world, there's something you should know. He made all the animals, some fast and some real slow. He made some with wings and feathers, some with hide and hair. Some are mighty common, and others awfully rare. He thought he'd used up all his parts, but he found that he still had some. He took the spares and made one more, and he called it the possum. He took the head and tail from a big old rat, the body from a porcupine. He removed the quills, put in some hair, and he said that looks just fine. Of all the things that he's created, some of them quite awesome. It's unique in all the world, this critter called the possum.
Sometimes when you least expect it, the smallest little thing can change your life forever. Well, this was the little thing that changed our life. A 60-gram opossum. She came to us, having been abandoned by Mom, needed to be syringe fed, lonely and sad. We put her in a pouch. I carried her around for over a month. It seemed to help. She doesn't even have a name here. We finally named her. We named her Lavender. But things weren't quite right with Lavender. As cute as she was, we noticed that her behavior was unusual. Our vet confirmed she had a seizure disorder. Hey, Dad, did you hear that? I'm going to get to live with you forever. Lavender was our first non-releasable. We wanted to make sure there was no food aggression, so she joined me for breakfast.
Well, everybody gets bagels for breakfast, I guess. Good?
Her first quail egg, she actually stole it out of a bowl I was making their breakfast. She loved it, devoured it. Quail eggs are very good for opossums. Well, she certainly didn't love everything she ate, but one thing you all know is she loved cauliflower. It was her favorite. And she loved cookies. She's stealing one of the Christmas cookies here.
Well, I'm afraid Lavender's gotten a taste for lobster and broccoli.
If she goes for the broccoli, isn't she funny? She loves broccoli. Look at her whole thing. Isn't she cute? She made good friends with Destiny. They had breakfast together quite often. They actually would eat from the same bowl, and sometimes she would eat all Destiny's food, and Destiny would eat all her food. Very noisy eaters. So what? This is breakfast of the champions. She had full freedom in the house, although we did put a gate up at the top of the stairs to keep her from going into the bedrooms up there. Not that that stopped her. Watch this. She goes up the stairs, she goes right over the top of the gate, goes in the bedroom, checks everything out, and then she comes back. Opossums need exercise. Lavender loved her exercise wheel. She ran on it every night. Watch how fast she goes. Sometimes she'd run on that thing for several hours, off and on. Carrying nesting materials in their tail is its most important function. Lavender knew how to do that.
She's 14 months old. You carry in your tail. Have you taken it? Mom's not going to let me take it under my couch. But that's where I want to go. And I put some newspaper. Oh, that might do it. That's going to do it. She puts it under her belly. And then into her tail. And she's got some in her tail. This is wonderful. Oh, she's taken the pea pad, too. Oh, she's going to make a big nest. She thinks she could have a lot of babies. I have news for her. You're not going to fit under there. Wait a minute. Oh, yes, you are, I guess. Look at that. She flattened herself right out.
Lose your cool or be afraid anymore. It's quite possible the things he does you might consider dumb. But remember, God created him, this thing we call the possum. He took the head and tail from a big old rat, the body from a porcupine. He removed the quills, put in some hair, and he said that looks just fine. When God was finished with this job, he said, I'm pleased with what I've done. There's nothing in this whole wide world to compare with the possum. He took the head and tail from the big old rat, the body from a porcupine. He removed the quills, put in some hair, and he said that looks just fine. When God was finished with this job, he said, I'm pleased with what I've done. There's nothing in this whole wide world to compare with the possum.
Lavender lived a long life for an opossum. She was 3.5 years old. But we noticed at the last few shows that she got tired and irritable, and we decided to retire her. She did go to a couple of programs this month, but we've had Bella step in for her because clearly Lavender had had enough and it was time for her to rest. She sat in our laps and watched TV, and of course Dr. Groves was there right to the end to make sure all was well. I think it's time to leave now, Lavender. We'll miss you so much. This little girl changed our lives for the better. Goodbye, dear girl. Rest in peace.